Welcome back to Wyoming Family Adventures. I'm going to go over the break-in rides I did on my bike. I went over Sherman Hill and then Snowy Range Pass, which you see here in the photos. Sherman Hill's high altitude, highest point on I-80. Snowy Range, I'm just over 10,800 feet going over the top of that pass. Then I went down the other side and rode up Kenneday Peak, where there's a fire tower lookout. Uh, it's a nice scenic view up there. You can see in all directions from the top of Kenneday Peak. Uh, that ride was pretty fun. There's a lot of twisties on the way on the pavement, and pretty not too difficult off-road baby head gravel, baby head boulders and some ball bearing gravel roads. So the second part of my break-in, I rode down into Colorado because I needed to pick up an oil filter. I didn't want to wait for one to get shipped to me, and I figured I'd finish my break-in ride. So I went down to one of the Aprilia dealers down there and picked up an oil filter. Actually, two of them, so I have one for the next change. And then I rode up to Rocky Mountain National Park. If you haven't been there, great views, uh, beautiful. And of course, on a motorcycle, you can see all around you, way better than going in a car. Uh, some great wildlife up there, and if you love going up in the mountains and high altitudes, you won't be too disappointed. I kind of beelined it up to the top. Uh, obviously not riding fast. It's pretty slow riding through Rocky Mountain National Park, but and I was in the break-in period too, so I thought it would be a good place to go just to put some miles on and go through the rev range a bunch, going at the slower speeds and around corners and the higher elevations to break the bike in. Uh, it's not my favorite place just because of all the tourism and traffic there, but I still, enjoy it. It's a good place to go. If you haven't been there, it's worth going. Uh, there is a lot of traffic and tourism. I had to sit at the gate and wait till after 2 o'clock because apparently they have a reservation system where you have to make reservations to get in to the park, which, yeah. Now, I'm not much of a reservation person. I like to, you know, do things on a whim sometimes. I definitely don't enjoy having to plan everything out and following a schedule. Um, it sounds more like work than vacation to me. So I don't mind things being planned, but I don't want to have to follow a schedule to a T. In the Rocky Mountain National Park, I think you have a 2 hour window of when you can enter the park when you make your reservation. And if you miss that window, you're just out of luck. You're not entering unless you go in super early in the morning or in the evening. Uh, So I rode up to the top and back. The bike did good. Um, it loves on road just as much as it does off road. Probably a little more, to be honest. It is slightly more road oriented, it feels like, but I don't know. When you get off road, it's it feels pretty comfortable there. Uh, I'm so far very impressed with the bike and the rides we've done. I haven't been disappointed at all, with the exception of, I wish they had put first and second gear a little lower. I know people that ride lower elevations and ride more road feel a little bit the opposite, probably, and wish first gear was slightly higher. And they think it's a little too close to second, probably. I don't know. But because I ride a lot of off road, I'd rather have a little bit lower. That's the advantage the Yamaha has over this bike, is a lower first and second gear and just more tractor factor, basically. But other than that, this bike is better than the Yamaha in almost every other aspect. Suspension's definitely better. It's more comfortable. Uh, yeah, I think you have just as much ground clearance, but a lower seat height still. Which, when you get into the technical stuff, uh, it's much easier to balance because of that lower seat height. It's comfortable to stand on. So, yeah, so far, not too disappointed. There's a few things, we'll go over that in another video. It's not a perfect bike. I've yet to find one that is, but it is pretty good. So we'll go over, the problems and stuff. And what I don't like about it, it's a little different than what I've seen on a lot of other videos. So if you're interested, you might want to stay tuned for that. That video where we talk about, what we consider problems with the bike, things we don't care for. We'll probably just have a sit down discussion on that. Probably meet up with Cody sometime for that, because then we can get a perspective from two different riders on it. But definitely, some different viewpoints from what I've seen online. But, there's some things I agree with some of the other reviewers online, other things not so much. So we'll definitely have a video coming up on that. Hope you join us for that. And thanks for watching.